Well, hello once again, my friends, my fellow historians, and my fellow ship lovers. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and most of you probably are aware that the SS United States made her journey from Pier 80 in Philadelphia down to Mobile, Alabama. The journey was made in just about 10 days, and Captain Mike VINIK captained the tugboat that towed her down. And did you ever wonder about the little tugboat that dragged that mammoth liner on the journey? Well, I want to talk a little bit about that. We got just a little bit of a history on the VINIK No. 6. That is the vessel that towed the SS United States. And according to GetTheCoast.com, it's a tugboat that was built for challenging operations. At 141 feet overall, with two EMD locomotive engines generating 5,750 horsepower, it's equipped for serious offshore towing. This boat's amazing. It can handle rough weather like very few other boats can, but it's not ideal for small, close quarters, shallow draft, Michael VINIK said. The tugboat holds over 130,000 gallons of fuel, 30,000 gallons of lubricant, and approximately 60,000 gallons of ballast. It features two wheelhouses, upper and lower, plus an after steering station where the crew can control the towing machine. What makes VINIK's operation unique is its availability for specialized jobs like dead ship towing, which is moving vessels with no operational propulsion systems of their own. Most of the boats that are this size in this class are not on what they call the spot market, where they don't have a permanent job. Captain VINIK said, "The fact that I have this boat and it's available for odd jobs like towing a dead ship, there are very few boats that are of this class that are available." So what goes into preparing for the tow of a dead ship? Well, the SS United States tow was not his first by far, and most significant and challenging. It's nearly 1,000 feet long, and it was the largest vessel his company had ever moved. Preparations were extensive and involved multiple agencies and stakeholders. Surveyors that ensured the ship was safe. The U.S. Coast Guard had extensive requests and requirements, Captain VINIK says. We had to make sure that the tow gear and the rig was all set. One particular challenge was the ship's condition at its Philadelphia berth, where it had remained stationary for decades. The berth that the ship had been at is silted underneath the ship. So at low tide, the ship rested on the bottom, and at high tide, it was floating, VINIK said. They had to get the ship out of the berth at high tide because they had to clear the bridges at low tide. This delicate timing operation required moving the ship to an intermediate location where Coast Guard officials re-inspected it to ensure that it wasn't taken on water before the ocean journey began. And what they're referring to is it went from Pier 82 and they pushed it over to Pier 80. Now, when it comes to towing a dead ship, there's a crew of 6 to 7, including 3 captains, 2 able seamen, an engineer, and a deckhand. VINIK and his team faced the unique challenges of moving a massive vessel with no propulsion system of its own. There's nothing that we can do. Just pull it, VINIK said. About controlling a dead ship, it doesn't want to tow straight. Using approximately 1,800 feet of wire, which acts as a shock absorber, the tugboat maintained a crucial physical separation from the SS United States as they traveled. This catenary of wire had to be consistently adjusted based on sea conditions. Weather would also permit changes or challenges, particularly when the winds and currents pushed against the ship's massive profile. When we departed Delaware Bay and passed Norfolk, once we had the cold front from the north and the Gulf Stream in the south, it was very windy. Captain VINIK recalled, "We had a tailwind and the ship was trying to come about. It was trying to go beam to the sea and beam to the wind." In these situations, Captain VINIK would employ a technique called heaving to, where they reduce the speed to maintain better control rather than fighting against the forces of nature. You accept that you're not going to make a lot of headway for that duration of the rough weather. You ease off on the throttle and let the ship pull you along a little bit, but don't let it take advantage, Captain VINIK says. So when it comes to the VINIK No. 6 herself, there's a website called vesselfinder.com where you can actually put in the ship's name and you can see the location come up. And according to vesselfinder.com, VINIK No. 6, tug IMO 7044328, and you can actually see the location, the course speed, and all the information on the ship herself. And a little more information on the VINIK 6 herself. According to tugboatinformation.com, the VINIK No. 6 was built in 1970 by Southern Shipbuilding Incorporated of Slidell, Louisiana, hull number 88 as the Robert Alario for Novelty One, Offshore Incorporated of Golden Medway, Louisiana. In 1992, the tug was acquired by the Morania Oil Tanker Corporation of Staten Island, New York, and she was renamed as the Morania No. 6. In 2000, the Morania Oil Tanker Corporate merged with Penn Maritime Incorporated of Stamford, Connecticut, where the tug was then renamed as the Penn No. 6. In 2012, Penn Maritime Incorporated was acquired by the Kirby Corporation of Channelview, Texas, where the tug retained her name. On to 2017, the tug was phased out of active service, and she was laid up at the Kirby Corporation's yard at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 2018, she was acquired by VINIK Maritime Services of Keyport, New Jersey, where the tug was renamed as the VINIK No. 6. Powered by two 16-cylinder EMD diesel engines, turning two cast steel fixed-pitch propellers. She is a twin-screw tug, rated at 5,700 horsepower. Her electrical service is provided by two 75-kilowatt generator sets. The tug's capacities are 174,618 gallons of fuel, 18,492 gallons of portable water, and 30,379 gallons of ballast. Her IMO number is 7044328, and her call sign is WDJ9696. She's made of steel, and her hull number is 88. She was built by Southern Shipbuilding in 1970. Her length is 141 feet long, and right now her hailing port is New York City, New York. Her hull depth is 18.7 feet with a breadth of 35 feet. Her gross tonnage is 189 tons, and her net tonnage is 122 tons. And that is some of the information on this amazing little tugboat that would drag the SS United States to Mobile, Alabama. These ships basically, to me anyway, they seem like a floating engine. They just have all this horsepower, and there's not a lot of ship, but there's a lot of engine. So I also want to remind you guys that tonight, the Coalition for the Saving of the SS United States is having their roundtable discussion. I'm going to attempt to go live. I don't know how to do that, but if I'm not able to do that, I'll still show you guys the video and what they spoke about tomorrow. So my friends, until my next video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.